stream. I'm just here waiting for my ex-wife to pick up Mika. Today's live stream will be a little bit delayed. I just wanted to start it to let you know I'm here, and we will go live within the next 10 minutes or so, or 15 minutes, just waiting for my ex-wife to pick up Mika. But then we continue. We will have a look at the chili. Maybe we're harvesting something. So let's have a look. Let's see what's going on. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my live stream. I was a little late. My ex-wife picked up Mika, and that meant that I had to take off in between. But welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. A lot of stress this morning. So yeah, we are at the video set right now. We will be pollinating today. I have a plant that I want to pollinate. Hybrid with Sörensia telegona. I brought pollen from the freezer, and we will pollinate that thing today. What else? Let's have a look what we will use. This is the big botanical columnar cactus that we could use. Mamacita. Over here I have Teleflora. I think we are using Teleflora and that big botanical columnar. So let me get the camera. We are going into the greenhouse and we are pollinating the flowers, okay? Getting two different brushes so we can pollinate both. So we can pollinate both flowers with a different brush. And also, welcome everyone. Greetings to you. We have a lot to do today. We are pollinating right now. I'm on the way to the greenhouse to pollinate two flowers that opened up behind something else where it wasn't visible. So the flowers are already pretty late, but we will still try to pollinate. Late pollinations can still work. Ideally, you want to pollinate like right away, but you can still, when you're pollinating, who knows? Sometimes they're holding out long enough that you can pollinate them. So yeah, check this out. These are the flowers. I didn't see them behind the crest. We have to empty out the corner here. But for now, I just want to open up the flower. We will open them up so I can find the stigma in there. This is already pretty far. Might not work. This might be too far along, you know. Well, let's see. Maybe we find something. Where's the stigma? There it is somewhere. Oh yeah, there it is. Here's the stigma, and we will pollinate the stigma. Let's look for the second one too. Maybe we find it in that one too. Opening up the flower because these are already closed. I've seen that too late. They've been opening up behind a different plant. Okay, here's the stigma. We will pollinate them both. This is a hybrid between Sörensia telegona and Echinopsis kermesina, meaning, and also Matucana as a third father in the next generation cross. So the flower tube is a little longish, like kermesina, like Echinopsis kermesina. You can really see the shape of the tube. And the tube often plays a role in regards to compatibility and that kind of thing. So I brought Teleflora. Teleflora, also Telegonus hybrid with longer tubes. And that's why I think this pollination will succeed. These are very similar, both parents. I just want to get a fruit from this plant because I almost lost it. And this might be a good chance to propagate it a little bit. So this is Teleflora, and I will show you that plant later. I have it flowering in the greenhouse here, but I want to pollinate first because the lifespan of these might not be too long anymore. The flowers will decay during the day, and once the flower tube has kind of broken down, it might not transport the pollen anymore. So pollinating, this is Teleflora as father. And in my opinion, this will work. This will succeed. This will probably grow a fruit. Now we're pollinating the other one. Pollinating with a botanical columnar cactus as a father, big white flower. And in this case, it's only about getting offspring with big flowers. As big, the bigger the better. Okay. So yeah, getting a little pollen with the second brush now. This is good. So now I'm pollinating that other stigma here. Oh, come on. Come here. Okay, good. Want to pollinate a second time, and then we have pollinated them. Then we have done our due diligence here. Good. This is okay. In my opinion, the left one will probably grow. Okay. And while we're here, I want to show you something here. I want to show you what we did in since last year. All of these have been done in the last days. And there are so many plants that had been reported previously, like this one, like this one, like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Like the half the greenhouse had already been reported last year. And the rest we are reporting right now. A lot of plants that I have here that are just waiting to be reported. So when people yesterday, someone had commented, my garden is a mess. And I really want to stress that when you're reporting, of course there are plants lying around. Of course there's chaos from time to time when you're pulling the plants out the soil, changing soil. It's just so much work. And of course there's chaos involved. Here's the plants that we will report later. Want to already show them to you. We're discussing them. This is a Validus hybrid. Needs to come into a big pot. Dawson's Pasacana crossed with Sörensia, I think is this cross here. Has potential for a colorful flower. Then this one here. Really nice. I want to see that in a big pot. Then we have these. Also short spine. I think South Australian short spine hybrid. Something of that like. Then I have this one here. It has a few skin problems, but if you put that thing in a good pot, this is going to be an amazing plant. Like many others, these had gotten a little frost in winter, but they will recover. I will put these in a big pot and then we will see, you know. This here, all of this, just in the last couple of weeks, you know. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because I have seen a little bit of negativity from time to time that really bothers me because there's so much happening. There's so much good stuff happening. And there's so much good stuff happening despite the issues that I have here, like budget problems. Like every time I'm earning a little, we are buying new pots. We are buying new soil. Constantly reporting, constantly changing, constantly working on the future. And yeah, when I see all the good stuff that's happening, I have a hard time when I see negative comments that are just trying to look for something to complain about, you know, like plants that are lying around for reporting. I don't care, honestly. Like if that you could place them all here during reporting, like sideways. It wouldn't matter because they need to be reported anyways. So yeah, now we have pollinated that thing and we're going back, and then we will do some stuff at the desk. I have a bunch of seedlings that I want to clean out. Like we need to start weeding out our seedlings from the live stream. All of them getting oxalis issues. This one here even has a physalis problem. I don't know why, but somehow the vegetable seeds that we had on the live stream have come into the cactus pots. I don't know how. Yeah, but we are cleaning them out a little bit. Not sure what to do with the physalis. And I believe it's a physalis or eggplant, something like that. Something that we have sown out inside when we were also starting the cactus seeds. Hey, good morning. Greetings to you and welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here. Got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, and I want to set up, like in the future, I want to have more like the camera in one spot. Like this could be a great video set. Everything is somewhat stable here. And I like the corner that I built here. So maybe this will be the base for the future where we're live streaming, you know? Gives me a chance from time to time to return to our desk and sit myself down. Had a lot of issues like last live streams walking around. The walking's really too exhausting. So yeah, doing it from here in the future. Yeah, I wanted to show you this. Check out the Carolina Reaper. I'm not really, that is the kind of content that I have nothing to do with, you know? I like, there's a strict legal system, you know, like in many countries, having exceptions for ornamental plants. So ingestion is something that has never been a topic for me, you know? Yeah, I have nothing, you know, I have nothing against it. I have no problems, but what I do is not ethnobotany, you know. I'm not having an ethnobotanical channel. I'm having just a gardening stuff, you know. Also because you constantly, I mean, I wouldn't even be so much against talking about chemical contents in order to talk about family relationship and that kind of thing, but social media is just not ready to have these kind of discussions all the time. There's constantly removed stuff, removed posts and all that. So yeah, that's why that kind of a content never really gets discussed even on the live stream. It's just safer that way. And again, I'm not really, I just have a hard time growing. When I'm growing my plants, when I'm planting something, I just don't wanna waste the cactus. Most of the plants that I have, they're amazing, you know. They have a reason to be here. Either they have an amazing flower or they look great. Felt a waste to just throw it away. Okay. Yeah, let's get started. I wanna remove this one here. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, I mean, it's an entry door for many people, you know, like people are looking at the cacti because some of them might be able to, you know, to have chemicals or whatever, and it's an entry door for them. But yeah, like looking at social media in the last years, I've had immense problems just getting a botanical book printed. Like the second book that we did, the hybrids book, we had been heavily censored by the credit card companies involved with the crowdfunding service where we funded the book. They had been heavily censoring us, like holding back orders, you know, where they haven't been processing orders just because it's a botanical book about that genus with that genus name in the title. And yeah, that tells you a little bit about how social media is going right now. You have no recourse when they are removing something, so it's just easier to not discuss that, you know. And that is how censorship happens. How continuously a topic is they're just not, people aren't making books about it. People aren't really putting effort into studying them. Because they have to live with stigma, you know, social stigma and all that, payment processors. Like I said, the book that I've made was a botanical book, nothing else, and it still caused problems. So yeah, I hate it. I hate it. That's why it's good when you have a certain reach. It allows you to push the projects through, like funding a book in the past. That was always a huge thing, you know, like with credit card companies. They're always involved, and if they don't want to have a certain book to be published, they will not do it. they will not process any orders. Like it's unfortunately it's a landscape where they do censorship just with their market power, with their with the market dominance that they have. So I wanted to cut this. Yeah, I mean, they didn't influence the content on the book, but they almost completely deleted the campaign when we did the crowdfunding campaign. They have and they haven't told me anything. They haven't said, "Hey, we have stopped your campaign" or something like that. They hadn't. We had succeeded. We had reached the goal. They had paid out, and once we had reached the goal, the credit card company became involved and stopped any orders after that, making it impossible to print more books. Actually, I had planned to print a few more, but they had instantly stopped the campaign once that had reached the 10K goal to fund it. And that's how they're doing censorship through the back door. And I think it shouldn't. Like, when it's a book that's just a plant book, how can that be a problem? How can a botanical book that isn't even problematic be a problem? But that's the situation right now. So I wanted to show you this. This is a skin infection, probably fungal. I don't like it. This is going to come down, and we will try to save it by removing it here. We are just taking that piece off to let it callus and heal. So, okay, this looks pretty good. I mean, the base is done. This is cooked. Oh, there's a spider. I don't know how they always make it. How there are always spiders on stuff. Go over there, my friend. Okay, come on. Go. Oh, so this was close. I'm putting it down, but yeah, and we will use this one to harvest new pups. If this thing should pop, then we have something that might be healthy. This is a hybrid called Bartels Amarena Kirsch, hybrid by Ingo Bartels, and it's one of these Wurlitz hybrids with the unusual flower color, like pink stripes. So it could be worth to try to save a pup. Thing was grafted, and eventually, probably from too much shade. This is the kind of stuff that you get when the plant is in a bad spot. The more plants you have, the more likely it is that something good will be on a bad spot, So I will put that here on the top shelf, and these will come down. Got to do something here. Also want to discuss them because these have been on the channel before. Both of them, actually. This is the one where we removed the infection. Had 2 infections that we removed. And I think this has calloused enough now. So let's see. Classic example. This was a hybrid by Misplant, and it was a really good one. Like, I'm not sure if it's the Validus grandiflora hybrid or if it's something else from that time, but it's definitely a good Misplant hybrid, and I want to keep that thing. So I want to put the camera on the tripod, and then we are removing this here, because when the grafting stock starts popping again, it will basically siphon away the nutrients to this pup here, and the main thing will be kind of having second priority, and that is something that we want to avoid. When we take that off, the plant just has to put the energy into the graft. And this here, we will put that thing, we will root it separately or graft it. We could do it right away. We could wait a little longer. This has actually a size where you can already graft it. Could be pretty, I mean, it's not hard to graft it. It's just, I usually try to wait a little longer, that it's getting even safer. The bigger the plant that you are grafting, the safer it can be. At least if you're not grafting something like this. If you're grafting old tissue like this, you have a very low success rate. But if you're grafting something fresh, the bigger the piece, the more likely it is that it just doesn't like dry up. Having a certain mass can be really good for them. So yeah. All right. So this is the other one that I wanted to show you. This had a infection here that was removed. Basically just removed a rib. Just an areole here. You can see the other part also completely dried up. We have to be careful that that thing doesn't get rained in. So it would be good to keep it out of the excessive rain. But for now, I want to bring the plant out because this has calloused now. Wound has calloused and can... Now it's time to water the plant again. Because I saw that while this was callousing, plant was getting smaller and smaller. And that's not really something that I like. Okay. Then we have this one here that I wanted to show you. This is one of the Feathers hybrids. Growing a fruit. I'm quite happy with it. This is Acacia hybrid Otto Schulz, also growing fruit. And this is Bamboy. Today one of the fruits came off. This one looks like it might come off too. Yeah. So we will clean these now, okay? I have brought a sieve here. And I want to see how many seeds are in that thing. So I will put it here and we'll bring the other attachment. This is the one for the fertilizer. We'll bring the other attachment for the water hose. And then we are cleaning the fruit under the sieve here, pushing the fruit material through the sieve, and hopefully nothing but the seeds will remain. Just need this one here. This is the one that I'm putting on. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. What indoor plants do you enjoy? Growing no cacti. Well, we have a lot of the chili that I've grown here. I haven't really been a gardener in the past, you know. Always a little, I don't know, I was too focused on cacti. But in the last year, I started to really look at other stuff. Had a lot of fun growing the chili here. Like this one, a Carolina Reaper. I really like this one. Really beautiful plant. Indoor plants. Apart from that, I have a few orchids. I have a few of these, the classic plants that you always have in the bathroom, you know, that don't need a lot of water. But apart from that, I just got started with other plants. Like we planted a few physales. We have planted a, what else? Tomatoes. Beans. I've planted a few beans, classic stuff. Nothing really that is an ornamental indoor plant. I want to get me something like a Monstera. I really like them, but we're not there yet. I want to get one that isn't so expensive. Maybe I find one locally here, you know, that I can pick up somewhere locally when people are moving out. They're often leaving their big plants behind. And I decided next time I'm seeing one, I will get it. So yeah, let's do the seed cleaning, okay? I will put that thing here. Yeah, they are beautiful. I really like Monstera. They are nice plants. I wouldn't put a lot of money into plants anymore. Like the way with plants, I've seen how much money I just wasted. Like because I don't have like the kind of setup that you sometimes need to get the tropical plants to flower, you know, like to really get them to thrive. Like my greenhouse is a little cold for something like the really cool tropical plants. But when I can sow something out for relatively little money, then I wanted to do more of that in the future. Want to try growing a few eucalyptus trees, maybe a few acacia trees to see if they are frost hardy here. That kind of stuff, you know. So I will get me a piece of kitchen paper and then we will clean that here. Will be interesting to see how many seeds we have. Oh, by the way, this is the fertilizer attachment from yesterday. Still has some sort of a discoloration inside from the fertilizer. I just found it noteworthy because yesterday when I was spraying, you couldn't see any kind of color change. I didn't even think there was still fertilizer in that thing. But apparently, there still was. So this could be great for fertilizing the mineral fertilizer that I have. So, okay. I just got to turn the water on and then we're pushing that through the seed. Apparently I'm out of kitchen paper, but we will try it again. Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome to the live stream. We are cleaning a fruit. This is a fruit of the hybrid Bamboy. One of the best hybrids that I've ever seen. Yeah, and I want to see if we have any kind of luck with the seeds here. I feel like it dropped it a little early. And a bunch of the seeds look like they are not fully developed. Cleaning up the thing first, making sure there's nothing below the lid. Sometimes you have seeds from the previous cleaning that get stuck below the lid. Always gotta make sure you don't have that. So now I'm spraying it a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, this is good. This is nice. So the thing with Bamboy that I noticed, it has a tendency to grow a fruit. Every time, with one exception, every time it grew a fruit. Like every time it flowered, it grew a fruit. And yeah, that's usually something that you see from self-fertile kind of plants, you know? So yeah, we have a few seeds here, but it's not many. Just a few here. If I would have to guess, I would say maybe we have 10 viable seeds in here. Between 10 and 20. So I have a second fruit, we will do that one too. And the second one has been very similar. Check it out. You can see the brownish seeds in between. Those are not ripe. They will probably not come up. I would not have taken these fruits from the plant if it hadn't just dropped. Sometimes you see that the plant decided to drop the fruit, and this had happened. That it happens sometimes when it happens, they change color, or you see that they are getting smaller and smaller simply because they keep dehydrating. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's filtered that out. Yeah, somehow the auto moderator has filtered something out. I'm sorry. It just keeps happening from time to time. They are using their own list of words that they are blocking. Maybe it was the word, like from cracking open, maybe it had something to do with that. I'm sorry, but yeah, this is the situation on the inside. If there's problems with the auto moderator, just phrase it differently and it should work. Today, they are all using these automated moderators. And there's very little you can do. So cleaning this thing up here, cleaning the fruit, getting rid. This smells weird. Smells like a chemical. Okay. So now I'm trying to concentrate the seeds in center. Let me push up the intensity here. Trying to collect them in center. We have more brown seeds than black ones, unfortunately. Very unfortunately, I would say more than half are not viable. But we will sow out the good ones in between. So, okay, let's have a look at Bamboy again. So we took down 4 now. No, we took down 2. And there were 4. This one is also getting close to the end. I will try to leave it on as long as I can. The longer the plant is ripening, the better, because eventually you kind of the seeds might not ripen anymore once you take them down. So it's easier to and safer to just leave them on for as long as you can, as long as you see it makes sense to leave it on. In this case, it's already yellowing. When something changes color, it's the first indicator that it might be ripe. Then you're touching it. This feels very, also feels ripe. But I will leave it on because I'm sure the seeds inside will look a lot like the seeds that we just have here, like with a lot of unviable bright seeds in between. So we're leaving it on as long as possible. This one here, this is really ripening. This looks a little better, like in regards to how many healthy seeds will be in the fruit. With this one, I think we might have a chance to actually get a few healthy seeds. My germination setup I usually show in the live streams in winter. Have you seen it when I started sowing out in December? I basically just have a little like an indoor like a plant lamp, like one of these tents, and I have my seedlings in there. When I'm sowing out, I've been sowing the vegetables in that thing. I will post a video from it sometime soon. I just don't use it in summer right now. Saving a little electricity. I only have the lamp on for the cat because the cat loves to sleep there. So a few hours every day, that's the lamp that's on, but not for the plants. So I wanted to show you this. I have brought it up yesterday already. This is a species called Leucostele deserticola. Probably the fulvillana subspecies. And it has a fruit. It has a fruit, successfully, finally pollinated. And I think this is the first time that I pollinated that thing. And pollinated with Echinopsis glauca. And that is the one plant where I always said they look similar. That's why I pollinated it with it. My opinion, this should be compatible with glauca. Trichocereus glaucus and this one. Try it out if you have plants from both with these kind of labels. I would try crossing them. I can't wait to get the seeds here because this thing could have, who knows what it will have, like with the flower size. Echinopsis glauca has big flowers, big white, columnar body, and this one here is more like a slender, prostrate growing plant. We could get a completely new type of hybrid. And that's what's so amazing about this hobby. That's why I love it so much, Okay. Then we have this here that I wanted to take care of. This is Amun-Re. And I decided we will propagate it. We will propagate Amun-Re to crush the scalper prices that are on the market. That thing needs to be propagated for free. And yeah, so propagating this thing here, I want to remove the 2 pups to give the base a reason to pop again, because as long as you have 2 pups on it, it will not pop. It doesn't have a reason to it. There are these two columns that it will put the energy in, and for as long as they are there, they will probably get all the energy. So yeah, putting together here the camera here, that's one of the things that I will get me a cameraman if I ever strike it big, makes it a lot easier to garden when you're not having to do the garden, like the camera work too. Hey, greetings everyone, greetings Remo, greetings Dront. Just propagating Amun-Re a little here. So Okay, this is okay. I just want to take them off because as long as they're on it, the plant would probably not put energy into anything else. Here's a pup. Check it out. This here. And this pup here will be getting the main energy once we are removing them. And I'm pretty sure the plant will also pup again. So every piece of Amun-Re that I have, we will take it off and propagate. This one here. And we will root it separately in pumice. I will put these into pumice. Good. Yeah, we will be rooting them later. But first I want to show you something. I want to show you a big plant of Amun-Re because the plant is flowering. And I consider to move it in for the time lapse. It's just that the plant is hard to carry. I might have to ask the neighbor. And I hate asking people for help. But here it is. Check it out. This flowering just now. I can't really see much what's going on there. Well, I think we are getting one fruit. One flower, I mean. One flower. Oh, there's a spider on it. Of course there's a spider living on it. Would have been too easy. This is the pot. Repotted last year. And I could already put it in a bigger pot. I consider repotting one of the Amun-Re plants into a huge pot. In order to propagate it, we would take off the tip probably. Let's have a look, okay? Let's discuss this. Let's make a plan. I have that one plant of Amun-Re that I let grow big because I wanted to flower. And in the past, they usually flowered like every year. But this year the spot was a little poorly chosen. Spot was a little bit too much in the shade and it didn't flower anymore. Check it out. So here's the one. And I consider taking off the tip. Then we could take this thing and put it in one of these big pots like this one here. Then we would have one big local Amun-Re. Yeah, okay, but that is the plan for the future, propagating this one. This is Glauca, finally flowering again, and when this one is flowering, I will try to pollinate it with Deserticola, trying to do the reverse cross to see if the other way works out too. This one has taken, this was Bamboy, by the way. So we have really good kind of seeds coming up. We have pollinated these two. Here's Scopulicola that's flowering. These are the guests. The paper wasp nest in the greenhouse. They are just a welcome guest in the greenhouse. They're not really doing much. This one's flowering. This one's flowering. And I have a few like this, where I'm still not sure what we will do as the next time lapse. This one here we could also film for the time lapse. Then I'm waiting for a new medium. We will repot a little now. This is the remainder of the medium that I have. This one here, and I have a little bit of sowing soil left, like one bag of sowing soil that we can also use up. Yeah, a lot of bees around. Check out the pumpkin. Let me see if we have a flower on it. Like the flowers of that thing were so full of bees and all, but they're all closed now. I was surprised how many bees were on the pumpkin. This is kind of nice. Gotta be careful that I'm not stepping on it here. But maybe we're lucky. Yeah, and I want to repot a few more. Want to repot these here. Check it out. Have a few really good ones. that will turn out amazingly when we are putting them in a bigger pot. Maybe something like this. This is the biggest that I have right now. Next month I will buy new ones. I will buy new pots, maybe something of that size here. And I believe we need 20. Like I think I need to spend another 100 on pots. This is really expensive. Like when you're just doing it as a hobby, like what I'm doing right now, then it's really a lot of money that you have to constantly buy just to repot, just to have that amount of big pots, like the big pots that I bought in the last couple of years. A good $500 just for the pots. I wanted to show you this one. I'm waiting for the fruit to ripen here. This one is still ripening. Hybrid called Madame Pompadour. And when that thing has ripened, we should repot it, because this is one of those crooked plants. The plant is crooked because the species that is involved here is more prostrate. This is a hybrid with Sörensia telegona. And it has that, snake-like growth where they hang down on something. And maybe we can repot it in a way that it looks a little straighter. We can maybe place it in the pot like this, for example. This is how I plan to pot it up. Putting it in a bigger pot and filling the whole thing with soil, and to keep it in that angle. Nobody would see what goes on below the soil level. This here, the base has a few problems from the fertilizer. Plant had fertilizer burns in the beginning at one point, and they never really healed. But it's a cool plant. This is the kind of plant that I wanna see what will come from the seeds. Yeah, I really don't like that kind of body. Like when you have that Hilde Winterer like body. I have started to put them in hanging basket pots now. But this thing here is probably a little bit too heavy for a hanging basket pot. Just in regards to what kind of a plant you have there, they are amazing. I will try to grow Telegonus in hanging basket pots in the future. But they are heavy. This is pulling down, like when you have that in the pot, you really have to anchor it in the pot, or you will find the plant lying in the middle of the greenhouse one day. Yeah, okay. So let's repot, okay? I will get the tripod, then we're repotting a little. Right now, repotting is the most important thing. Like yesterday, someone had commented under a video saying my garden is a mess. And I mean, yeah, right now we're repotting. What can you do? It's just, there's so many plants that are coming out the pots and changing medium, repotting. I don't know, it's just something that's a lot of work. You're always busy doing something. Okay. Yeah, and in the future, I want to have the live stream a little bit more stationary. I want to have a few stations where we always go, maybe the repotting station in one part of the garden and the place where I have the desk in the other part. So I'm not constantly forced to walk, because I'm having so issues with my muscles that it can be good if I'm not having to walk all the time. So let's see. I will put the camera here, and then we are repotting into coconut fiber. And these are really good plants. I'm a big fan of what we have here, like the kind of when you're going through the plants that you have sown out maybe years ago. Sometimes it's always a great feeling when you're looking at the old stuff that you have planted, that you have forgotten by now, and you see good stuff, like stuff that really makes you happy that you've planted them. And that's what I currently have, like going through the pots, looking at the labels. There's so much good stuff here, and if we can find space for them in winter, then we have an incredible depth of unusual hybrids. We are having one of the really good places where we create unique hybrids in the future. Yeah, and I'm just happy that it is that way. So, okay, let me get started. We will have to. I will try to get it out the pot here. Let me see. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Inspecting the root system, looking for mealybug, but also looking for things that are alive in the medium. I always look for that. If there's something alive in the medium, I'm carefully taking it out and then I'm repotting. So I want to get a little water so we can clean that, cleaning the rootstock, and then it comes into this kind of pot. I would love to use twice the size right now, but we're out. Unfortunately, it's always a money thing, and I'm constantly buying new stuff. Then, you know, we're always using it up, then we're buying new stuff. So for now, it's just the smaller ones, but just the replacement of the soil, the replacing of the soil, the switch to a more organic medium will help that plant. Okay. So I brought the water. Of course, it's turned off. Okay, let's get going here. So I just want to, for one, I want to clean the medium. I also want to scare everything that's alive. I want to see if there's something alive. I want to see it now. And everything that's not out by then I will clean the rootstock with the hands. We'll get a glove though, because you never know what's in like in the fertilizer, in the pesticides. You never know what's in there when you're getting plants from other people. So yeah, using gloves when I'm cleaning something like that is usually a good idea. Really, a lot of the fertilizers are going through the skin too. And if you think about the stuff that we said yesterday, when we talked about the fertilizers that are slightly radioactive, when you're using a mineral fertilizer, it's been often mined, coming out the ground, and often has contaminations like uranium, that kind of stuff that can really be bad to have on your hands, you know? Washing it off might not make it go away. So when you're using different fertilizers, always wear protection, wear gloves and a mask. If you are exposed to the dust, I would wear a dust mask. So yeah, this will come in here, coconut fiber now. I will try to push it in and deep, and then I will put more coconut fiber on top to keep that thing stable in the pot. This really needs to have a little pressure, otherwise it will fall over. You need to really put on a little weight to keep that grafting stock in the pot. The heavier the grafted plant gets, the heavier the scion gets, the more difficult it gets to keep it in a small pot. We will have to repot that thing next year, maybe in 2 years at the latest. And it's good because this is a cool plant. Let's clean it a little. So, okay. This is a nice variegation, by the way. Seed-grown plant. I think it's the Sörensia hybrid, but I couldn't find the label. So this will go into full sun now until the end of the summer. I really want to have that thing growing a little bit more. And I hope that by the end of the summer, this will have a little bit of a root system already. Okay, next one. And always happy to take questions if you like, you know? Always happy to discuss stuff. Yeah, the dust is also really bad. That's true. Mineral dust, depending on whether it is. If it's pumice, it's bad to breathe in. If it's lava, it's bad to breathe in. If it's sand, it's bad to breathe in. I really recommend wearing something like a dust mask. People have made, like, in the past, when you had a dangerous job where you have been exposed to different chemicals or different minerals, people wore protection. People had dust mask, FFP3 mask, that kind of stuff. But through COVID, people made such a big show, made such a joke out of masks, such a needless big thing out of that, out of something that can really help people when you're working with something like minerals, you know? I really recommend wearing a mask because I know so many cactus breeders that ended up having lung problems, COPD, you know, like cold lung, minus lung, all that stuff. The longer you work with it, the more it can become an issue. So everything that we do here when we're repotting, everything is wet. I'm mostly repotting wet, in wet soil. I don't want to have any kind of dust. So, okay. This is the next one. This is a Pasacana hybrid. And the father is a, like, it was listed as a Lobivia, I believe. But it's actually a Sörensia, you know, something like Sörensia bruchi, red flower, and could result in a Pasacana with a colored flower. That's the reason why I'm growing it. So grafted here, looking for insects, looking for life. If there's one thing that you will take away from my videos, if it is that it is good to check for living things before you're doing something. That would make me very happy, you know, because a lot of the insects, they are living in the soil, like the plants are part of the ecosystem. And yeah, if you can spare a few lives here and there, I would be very happy. So let's clean it a little bit more. So yeah. And these plants, we will push hard. Everything that usually reaches the size of a house, like hybrids like Tersheki, Pasacana, stuff that grows columnar, that grows huge before it flowers. By bringing in other parents, like this here's a hybrid that was pollinated with the Sörensia as a father. And that can greatly reduce the time it takes for them to flower. And who knows, maybe the flower is even big. So this is the kind of plant that I want to push to see if they can flower here. They might not, but then we have tried it, you know, then we have tried everything, have treated them perfectly. And they will look great while we are doing it. Then they will look great while they are not flowering. And that would be okay too. So pushing this into the medium here, like I said, I would usually choose a much bigger pot size here. Maybe like this, a little bit deeper than what we have here. But for now, this will be enough for 1 year. Sometimes it's already enough to repot a plant into fresh soil. It doesn't even have to be a new pot. It can even be just new soil. So, and I say it every time we're repotting. When you're working with coconut fiber like we do here, you have to fertilize that medium. And we have to fertilize again later. I'm not sure if we are doing it today in the live stream. If not, I will do it in the evening. That kind of soil, you just have to fertilize. When you're using classic garden soil, very often it already has a fertilizer in it. It doesn't matter what you get when you're buying soil from a garden store that is sold for plants, it often has a fertilizer in it. When you're using coconut without fertilizer, without added fertilizer, it will not have anything. You have to put it in. That means you also have to put in the micronutrients and that kind of thing, you know? So yeah, this is the other one. Few skin problems here, but I'm sure it will grow it out. Skin problems often happen when the plant is just not having enough space in the pot. When the soil is old, overaged, has a bad pH. Over time, the pH level can become quite like in a range where nothing survives anymore. So yeah, changing the medium is always a good idea. Okay. Yeah, so, and today I suppose we are getting new coconut fiber. And then we are instantly repotting again, like constantly, because we don't have so much time anymore. There's a little bee that is drinking water from the coconut. Coconut is just a great way to allow insects to drink without the risk of drowning. Sometimes they can drown in a puddle, but when it's like this, they can pick up the humidity, but without having that risk. So that's a good thing about the coconut fiber. So now this one, I think it's a short spine, South Australian short spine hybrid. Also skin problems here. But I'm sure we can get it under control when we're just repotting it. Next time, this will come into a much bigger pot. For now, we're just cleaning it up, cleaning the rootstock and all. What's this? Just trying to read my label, but I can't. Could mean PC. Yeah, I think it means PC crossed with Dawson's short spine Tasheki. And that could very well be the way the body looks like. And that is great if it's that, because this is a cool plant. I really like it. If this thing will eventually flower, we have something good to work with. Cleaning the roots a little bit again. Always having it wet to make sure there's no dust. Okay. So yeah, let's put it in this one here. I wish I had a bigger pot. Let me see if I have one. I want to walk around to see if I have a pot. No, nothing. Nothing. I'm really fully out of big pots. I hate it. Unfortunately, you can't really do much. So many, like it costs so much. You're constantly buying pots. Like I recently bought maybe 20 pots and we have used them up in a few days. So, yeah, getting into the new medium, and I will also push it in deep. I want to have stability here. And the deeper you can get it in, the more you can put on top to keep it in the pot. So yeah, pushing the medium on the roots now to keep it in this pot. Then will be fertilized in the evening. And in winter, this will get a very sun exposed spot. this can't be in the shade. With the skin problems, everything that has skin problems will get the better spots in winter. Either we are bringing them on the good spots or we're bringing them in, like in the house. I will not put anything in a spot where I know it will not survive the winter. Okay. So here's the label. So hybrid with a South Australian short spine, and I think the breeder of this one is Gus Freeman. Gus Freeman. Okay. So I wanted to bring this one here. Check this out. This is a Syrensia telegona, and the plant has problems with the sunlight, so I'm bringing it in the shade. And maybe I can put it in a hanging basket pot. I have this pot here that I'm using for rooting, and maybe we can put it in that pot too. Let me see. I will try to put it like this, and this can get a little heavy. Might come down, but I will definitely try it out. So, okay, let's take this off for now. But we will hang that thing into the greenhouse. For now, I just want to fill up with coconut here to keep them both in the pot. To keep them both hydrated while they are rooting. So. Trying to really keep that plant in the pot now, in the future. When I'm picking that up, the plant will pull down, so we might have to add something else. Maybe we are attaching it with a wire. We're doing something to keep it in the pot. Otherwise, this thing could come out. So this is like this and this. Let's try it out. This is not good. I will try to place something on it to keep the plant in there. Otherwise, it will fall down. I can place this thing outside now, let it root for maybe a month. And then when I'm moving it into the house in winter, I hope that it has rooted enough. But this is how I want to grow that plant in the future. Growing as a hanging basket cactus. There's a plane that's flying over just now. Directly over. Good. Here you can see another one of these. Like this is a Hildewintera, very similar kind of body. And this one will come into a bigger hanging basket pot too. I think I'm out of them now. But I wanna hang these. I wanna attach these pots here. Like when you can attach something on 3 corners of the pot, you can kind of place them in the center of the greenhouse over winter, and that looks great. They're really beautiful when they are flowering, but you can't grow them like a columnar cactus. Okay, next one. Let's see. Always fighting with the tripod. I don't know why, but in the last days the tripod has really let me down. Tripod was much better in the beginning. So this is also South Australian short spine, I believe. Or let me see. Validus. Yeah, let's pot it up. Let's give it a bigger pot. Removing the pot here. Very root bound, check it out. Very, very root bound. Not seeing any pests like mealybug. Mealybug should always be a huge red flag for you. If you're finding them, like it usually looks like mealy roots, like that white fluffy thing in the roots, and it's a really, really bad kind of pest. I recommend to take them out right away if you see them. They're the kind of pest that you don't get rid of again, you know? So yeah, cleaning the roots now, making sure everything is healthy. I also want to remove everything that isn't part of the root system. Like there are some, see, this is grass roots. A lot of grass roots involved here, and we don't need them. Watering a little more. Always to keep the dust away. Good. The roots look pretty okay. Good. So let me see if I'm running out of the small ones even. Then we have to really do something else. So I'm pushing in the medium here, coconut fiber again, and trying to push in enough just to have a little bit of medium until next year. Next year we will repot the ones that are in too small pots again. Right now it's just about doing it. Right now it's just about replacing the soil. It isn't even about repotting. It's about giving them new soil. The more often you repot them, the healthier they can be. Of course, when you have a problem with when you're constantly repotting them, constantly throwing them back, that has a price. But in general, repotted plants usually do well. Repotting, if you're repotting in a good medium, that should have a positive effect on them. Okay, next one. Also here, watering. We might have to break off the pot. Doesn't look like a pot that would come off without doing anything. We would either have to remove all the roots here. Yeah, good. This one has a little bit of mealybug. Check it out. Here. And here. So the plan will be to clean that very well. Getting rid of the mealybug, and then ideally you treat them, you give them something like a pesticide. There are many different ones. I usually don't tell people what they should use because every one of them has their own risk factors and all, you know. But I generally say there are lots of pesticides that you can use to get rid of them. Mealybug, in my opinion, it's better to use a pesticide and get rid of them than having them constantly screw up the new seedlings. The mealybugs are usually the biggest risk factor for them is how they attack the roots of the little tiny cacti, the ones that are so vulnerable that they might not survive it. Okay. Oh, here we have a bunch here. Putting 2 into each pot, and then we have split these up. Got to write another label for the second one. What's this? I can't read it. No, this can't be the label. Or could it? Yeah, this is a Scopulicola hybrid, but not with short South Australian short spine, but something else, like a different one. I was just surprised because it's so wide. This is a very wide plant. Hybrid by Gus Freeman. Today we're repotting the ones by Gus. He had sent me seeds for free. Was very kind. Like over the years, we kind of collided a few times, which is just the norm when you are kind of like in these communities that we have today. There are all these micro communities where you have a cactus group that has that one guy that is running it, and you have another group that is run by a different cactus guy. And of course, these cactus guys are loyal to each other. You know, like when you have a different cactus guy from a different group, of course they are more loyal to their own, you know, friends that they are running the group with. So I'm not blaming it. I'm just saying from time to time, when I got in, like when I got a little confrontation with people, it was usually not because there was a good reason for it. That's why I stepped away from all of that at one point, just walking away from the constant arguing, from the constant drama. And since then, I'm feeling so much better. I walked away from all the cactus drama. Yeah, and my life has become better from it. After walking away from arguing online, it gives you so much more time to actually do the work, you know? I remember times when I was more busy arguing on the internet than actually being in the garden. And that has changed a lot since then. And I'm thankful that it is like that. Yeah, so in my opinion, these are very wide. Like this is definitely Scopulicola, but I feel like it's a little massive for being a Sharks hybrid. Like Sharks is the other one. Usually they should be wider. They should be a little thinner. This almost looks like a Tasheki hybrid. Yeah, and once these are gone here, these pots, we have to buy this size. This kind of size we need. Maybe 500 or so. Found this one here. These two, they look like hell. But I know when we separate them and put them in a good medium, they will recover. So we are taking these two out of the pot. This is a mineral medium. I will put the mineral medium here in the pot on the side. Maybe I can reuse it. Taking out the label, and then we will have a look what we have here. Hybrid by Uwe Kahle, Flying Dragon hybrid. So yeah, this is good. Let's take it out here. A little bit more water before we're pulling it out. Oh, come on. Of course, most of the roots that are in there were not part of the plant. Mostly just old roots from weeds. So that's why repotting can be so important. Over time, you have the whole pot is full of roots, and very often it's not even roots of the plant. It's actually just weeds. So I'm potting them separately here. Also needs a label now. Then we have to have a look at what we have, like what kind of labels I have out here. I ordered new labels for the next days, but they are not here yet. The old labels are really bad, like poor quality label. Constantly, like the writing constantly dissolves. Also got to fertilize them. Okay, so by the way, this is Schaffery yellow. I have taken a cutting there yesterday, and this is a plant that I would probably not keep. Moving it out, not sure what we will do with it. Maybe it will go to the roadside where people can just pick it up. But definitely got to move it out. I wanted to do something here. What was it? What did I want to do? I wanted to do something. Oh, by the way, I really consider maybe carrying this plant here in the greenhouse, like the big one with the flower buds. That is on the list of plants that could look amazing as a time-lapse video. Seriously consider moving it. It has a tiny pot, it would be perfect, but yeah, it's kind of hard to move a flowering plant into the greenhouse. Not sure if we can do that. Oh yeah, I wanted to get labels. Yeah, let me get these. Hope I have a pencil here. In the future, we have to be more careful with the labeling here. Have to do more labeling. Want to make sure we're not losing track of the plants. So yeah, this one here we can use maybe. No, this one here. So the cross number, hybrid by Uwe Kahle, has the short code KA. Hybrid from 2018. 172, I believe. Yeah, 172. Hybrid with Flying Dragon. Good. So this one comes here, this one comes here, and also full sun. Maybe I'm putting these on the shelf in the greenhouse. Okay, next one. I have these that I wanted to clean up. Interesting kind of body, but they look like hell. They look really, really hard, like they have had a hard life. And we will make it easier for them now. Want to clean them up. We might only keep the healthiest 3. I definitely think 3 of them have enough potential to keep them. But they need to be singled out now. Good. Cleaning everything up here. See, this is just so much of the roots is something else. It's just a weed. So let's have a look what we have here. So this comes off, this comes off. This one here we cut off. Let me see if I have a scissor here. I saw a scissor. There's a scissor lying somewhere, but I can't find it right now. I will do it with the garden scissor, with the tree cutter. Okay, so this should be okay. We are cleaning this up now, really cleaning it up, and then they will go into separate pots. Yeah, let's do 3 small ones. Coconut fiber again. Everything has to be fertilized. Good. Number 1. Number 2. This will also get a full sun spot. They need full sun and a lot of water in summer in order to grow these kind of skin problems out. Everything that we're repotting right now has skin problems. That's why we're repotting them, to kind of combat that. Okay. And it's another one here, this one. No, this has mealybug in it. Check it out. Mealybug discoloration, then usually that thing goes into the recycling bin. Really trying to keep them under control in the future, and that means every time we're finding them, we are going against them. Removing them, cleaning the roots, treating the plants if necessary, just needs to be done. Mealybug, in my opinion, one of the worst pests that you can have. People underestimate how bad they are because you don't get rid of them again. So, okay. Okay. Good. So now we have these 4 that all have new soil now. Putting them on the top shelf. Okay, next one. Let's do the others. I have so many that I want to repot. These need to come into a new pot. These are TPM. They are starting to have like little mutations here and there, skin mutations. You know, it's a really good kind of plant. Even if the seedling isn't crested, even if the seedling isn't mutated, it has that potential in the genes that you can use it for breeding that shares the same freaky genetics. So these will be prioritized. These will be prioritized because they can be used for breeding, unusual body mutations. Every cross with TPM that it looked interesting at the very least. TPM, one of the plants that could be great for breeding in the future. But yeah, has to be cared for. I think this one was from Mitchell, I believe. Mitchell Fortner, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure who it was, who the breeder was, but I believe like Pacific Cactus, right? I'm not sure what's happened there. Like I've recently seen there was a huge discussion about some of his stuff, but these were just delivered fine. I mean, it took a little longer, but I got them, and yeah, they're great. They look like what was on the label. So right now it's just about actually making something with the seedlings that we have, doing something good with them. We'll single them out now. One into each. and then we will use them for breeding. Everything that flowers here could have could carry the mutation to induce monstrous growth, crested growth, whatever. So putting them on the better spots will be my priority in the future. So, okay. Cleaning up a little, watering a little. Next one. So, okay. And they will also get top shelf. I really want to have the ones that I'm putting them in a more organic medium in order to grow them on the top shelf. If I put them in mineral medium and have them on the top shelf, they will not make it. They will dry out continuously. Get smaller and smaller every month, you know. So putting them in an organic soil and then giving them a lot of light, a lot of sun, and also water in between. They need to be watered on a regular basis if you want to keep them on the top shelf. Top shelf can be great, but top shelf also dries out incredibly fast. Okay. Almost out of medium. When the medium is gone, it's gone. And then we're not repotting until the new one is here. And that's okay. Okay. Having a lot of muscle issues here. Up and down. Just set on a cactus. Let's put these into two. Let's combine two into one here. Where's the label? This wasn't it. TPM. Okay, this goes in the trash. This goes in the recycling bin. Which one? These here? Which one do you mean? Have a lot that need water right now. We're repotting them into a more water-loving medium now. Really good. Yeah, I know what you mean. You meant it in general, right? Yeah, I really like having a more organic medium compared to some other breeders that have a mostly mineral stuff, mostly mineral soil, pumice or lava. I like to have a simple medium, you know, a simple medium that I see when it's dry, that I see when it's wet, and when you have this mineral soil, the water will just run through it. I'm not a fan of that. Next one. Let's see what else needs new soil. These here, I want to get out of the soil. They look horrible. And this is the soil that had the worst result. Check it out. A lot of broken, expanded clay. Was really by far the worst medium for cacti. By far. Almost as bad as the lava. But but only almost. This was really bad. Trying to find a label in here, but it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, let me see. No, no label in here. We are just putting them into coconut fiber, and we will see how they will come out. Doesn't matter. So in the last couple of years, in my opinion, like when you look at the plants, the way they are doing, the way the plants are looking, like since I'm working with a more organic medium, the plants look so much better here. We just have a very hot summer now. Sometimes the summer is so hot that the plants in the greenhouses look horrible. So giving them a little bit more time can be quite important. Also top shelf now, giving them full sun until they recover. Okay, then I have this one. This is Teleflora. A little piece of Teleflora that I just want to use for propagation and nothing else. We are cleaning that thing up now and putting it in a separate soil. New soil, new chance. The lava itself, I mean, if you use lava as an add-on that you are just using to maybe add 15% of lava to improve the drainage, that can very well work. It just isn't the medium that you can compare to pumice, like lava compared to pumice or broken expanded clay compared to pumice. Both will never reach the quality of pumice. It might still work, and it can be better than having a medium that's constantly wet. But in my case, the plants didn't look good. Like compared to the others just looked better every single time. Every single time, the ones that had the organic soil looked better. Check it out. This has rooted already a little bit. We will just put it in a bit of coconut here, and then we'll see how that will like it. This is one of the plants where I could see problems with the organic medium. Telegonus is a species that grows like literally lying on rocks. So this could cause problems, but I still want to try it out. This is nothing important. It's not an important piece. It's just a little piece where I'm harvesting cuttings. So we can try it out now. Good. Also top shelf. Top shelf. And in winter needs a little warmer. I might have to bring that plant into the house in winter. Okay, next one. Then I have this here. One seedling. Rather organic soil. Look at the roots that it has already. Like if these have a chance, if you give them a chance to root, they will root fast. So this will come out. Will also go into coconut. The reason is I want to see it in a new soil. I want to give it a chance to be in a new soil now. Like the first year, sometimes it's good to change the soil after the first year. I mean, the fertilizer that I'm using has a pH buffer and should buffer the pH in a range that is okay, that is safe. But sometimes the soil just becomes bad. Like the pH level goes into a range that you can't fix anymore. And then it's good to change the soil, to just switch into something more fresh, you know? Here's the label. Uvocala hybrid from 2023. Also top shelf, little plant. This will be nice. What's this? I don't know. I'm running out of pots for the bigger ones. I would love to pot up a few of the bigger ones, but I only have the small ones now. So we are repotting a few of the smaller ones where I only have one plant. But with these, we can really make a big progress by giving the plants a new medium that will really go into the winter with a clean soil. Sometimes when you're repotting at this point, you're getting rid of the pathogens, you're getting rid of mealybug, you know, all the problems that they might have had, giving them a fresh start. So let me see what we will do here. These. Here's a plant that is baked in. I want to clean the rootstock. Want to really get this was in a tiny pot, so we are opening this up, freeing the rootstock, and then we're putting it in a deeper pot to give the plant a little chance to grow. This never had a fair chance in the pot that it was in, so I don't want to judge it for it. You know, like when you're sorting out plants, always got to be careful that you're not sorting out stuff that has an amazing flower just because it has a few skin problems here and there. I want to pot that a little deeper here. Yeah, this is good. Putting it like this, and I hope that the medium, like that the roots can root up a little bit, you know? I would pot that pretty deep because stability issues. It's not really perfectly stable if I'm not potting it deep. But yeah, the soil, like it can draw the humidity downwards to the root system, so this should still work. Giving it a lot more roots in the future, and if we can harvest one healthy pup from that thing, it's good. Also top shelf, full sun, and a lot of water. Okay, next one. What do we have here? Oh yeah, these need to be repotted. These are Sörensia hybrids from Joylene Sutherland. A hybrid called Joyce Pink. We will repot them. They are important. I greatly value Joylene, both as a person and also as a cactus, like a cactus personality. Joylene is amazing, and her Sörensia hybrids are they will play a big part in the Australian breeding scene for the next 20 or even 50 years. I'm sure of it. So having a few of them here is important. Yeah, everything fully rooted, just breaking up the rootstock, watering everything, and then we're putting them in a bigger pot. Would love to put them in a much bigger size, but for now this needs to be enough. Giving them a year to actually fill that thing out, and then next year we can repot again, you know? The cocos, yeah, they sometimes sell the coconut bricks with fertilizer too. You can get that. Yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten it because it makes it easier for me to work with it without gloves, you know, but yeah, some of it has fertilizer added. That saves you the hassle. So, okay. really pushing it into the new medium here. And then I'm filling up with coconut. So, okay, this is kind of nice. When you're doing it like this, what we're doing right now, if I had always repotted them like I do now, I would have had like 1 million cacti. This is going to get us to our limits very fast. Okay, next one. What else do we have? I really try to repot plants that really need it right now. So let me see what we have here. Here's 2 with really bad skin problems. We will knock these out the soil. And they will go into that one big pot there. Good. Getting rid of the mineral medium here because it was relatively useless. This had a lot of large particle-sized pumice, barely usable for cacti. So let's put it. We will put them separate from each other. Give them separate pots. And then they both have a little bit more space for themselves. So this one here needs to come out. Good. Yeah, and then we've almost used up the coconut now. Again. Happens so often right now. And that is usually a sign that you've been busy, you know? That you've been putting in good work. These will also go top shelf here now to give them a chance to outgrow the skin problems. Okay, next one. Here I have something interesting. This was, I think, Bolivian. So I want to treat it a little bit better. Want to see what it is. Want to see how it grows up. So I will put that into new soil now. Watering everything thoroughly, and then we're cleaning it up. Greetings to you, TJ. Also, everyone else, thank you for being here. A lot of stuff happening right now, a lot of repotting, yeah. I'm quite happy. Good. So cleaning up this thing. Always remember to check the roots for living things. From time to time, you know, I forget. Then I remind myself to not forget to check the root system if there's something alive in there. It's so much, makes you feel so much better if whatever has been living in there is still alive when you're done with the repotting. Every time something happens to an insect while I'm repotting, I feel horrible for the rest of the day. So yeah, I always check. Always check. Doesn't matter what I do. Also when I'm using a pesticide, like when I'm using neem oil, I don't want anything good to be in the soil when I'm doing it. Okay. New soil. This is going to look amazing later on. I'm sure of it. The Reaper looks almost ripe. Like yesterday, I was already worried, you know? Okay, I wanted to have a look at these because these will be our grafting stocks in the next days. We will graft a little, checking the roots. Oh, there's something alive, see? Something ran out. I'm sorry. What is it? Some sort of a fly. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes someone is living in there. I will put this on the side. We will try again next time. Every time I'm putting that thing in my hands, something is jumping out the pot. So here I have something. We need to clean up the root section here. Have a lot of moss that is growing on top of the soil. That's not what I want. I want to have a great, like the water needs to be able to evaporate easily, and in this case it's not possible. So we need to get rid of that. Making sure there's no little, I don't know what else there could be in the root system. But always checking that I'm cleaning up here. Cleaning up, getting rid of the moss at the top. Good. Cleaning the root system as much as I can, as good as I can. And then we're putting this into coconut. Yeah, let's use this one here. This is okay. Almost out of coconut now. I would continue with the sowing soil later. Maybe in the second half of the day. So this will come in. A lot of the plants that we're potting up now will be grafting stocks. If the flower isn't good, we will use them as grafting stock. Yeah, I mean, I will try to not be wasteful. If there's a really rare population, then we are trying to keep them in circulation. But apart from that, a lot of them will be grafting stocks in the next year. We will be grafting in winter. We will be grafting in the live stream in winter. I will bring the plants into the house with me. Yeah, and so we need grafting stocks. Okay, this is nice. And this could be a great plant. I'm not sure what it is. We will see. Looks like a unique hybrid of some sort. The spines look a little bit abnormal. Maybe like some of the hybrids that I have with flying saucer, something like that, you know? Yeah, we will graft all winter. At least that's the plan. We have too many plants, and yeah, that's what we will do. We are putting them as grafting stocks. So, let me put that thing. I will take over the camera now. Just putting this in the shelf, and then I'm taking the camera. Now, let's put it here for now. Good. I've done my duty with the repotting. This plant here, we have to make a tough decision. I consider to sort it out right now, but this is a nice plant. This is an amazing kind of body with the ribs and all. Really unique kind of rib structure. but I feel like I can't keep that plant because it's, for one, it's too big, and it's also like the flower isn't big. The flower is like 15 centimeter flower. Only has one flower or two every year now. Of course, we could repot it. We could put it in a pot like this, yeah. But then, I don't know. It's a lot of effort where we could actually put something like another plant of Amun-Re, you know? So, thank you, TJ. I'm like, I talked about that yesterday. Yesterday I did the video because someone had commented and had said the garden is a mess, you know, like, but that's just how it is right now. Like, there's so many plants that are lying here because I didn't get to repotting them yet. These are selected for repotting, and once again we ran out of soil, so I gotta wait. Later today, I think we will get more. If DHL doesn't, I don't know, drive home again. Like, they were already planning to deliver to like yesterday, and they sent me an email that they can't do it. So hopefully today, and then we can continue to report. Maybe we're reporting a few of the big ones again. Yeah, exactly. Work in progress. This is a very big work in progress. Yeah, but you know how it is. For me, everything you see here is huge, is even more work, because I like everything I pick up, I instantly can't use the muscle anymore like normally. So gotta take more breaks in between, and it's really, I haven't been like, the collection wasn't in this good of a state ever. Like what we're doing now with the plants, we either reported them last year or this year. Everything that you see in these pots here, they are already overgrown, but these have only been reported last year. This one, this is this year, pink stripes. These are all this year, like the vegetables from this year. Yeah, and there are always some that you don't get to repot, unfortunately. That is just, unfortunately, the situation with the small greenhouse stuff here. I hate that I can't really, that I don't have so much grow space available, you know, because I would love to just plant them in the greenhouse and let them go, and that will be probably the plan long term. I will look into that. Thank you with the recommendation for the sauce and all. Thank you. I will look into that. Yeah, the most like the most pots that I really need, they're usually the big ones, and the big ones are really expensive. Like I bought these here, and I believe they cost something like $5 per pot. $5, $5 to $6, something like that. And yeah, that really adds up. Like the plants in here, and also it's a space issue. If I'm repotting them in this kind of size, then the greenhouse is full with maybe 20 plants. And we wouldn't be able to get any of the small ones that I've just shown you in, you know? In this case, I will try to fill the space a little bit. I will add a few plants here and there, just to not waste too much space in the pots. And then eventually we will have one row of columnar cacti that will just grow here. And due to the fact that they are going to be in a bigger pot, then we can maybe leave them, you know? They can be stationary over the summer. The big pot makes it easier to water them efficiently. Yeah, I will definitely try to, like, if I can choose, I'm always getting something that's square. The round ones are wasting space. On the other hand, I can use this to place a plant here. You know, sometimes you have these Hildewinteras that I'm leaning over, and this can be good for that. Maybe you are placing the Hildewinter behind it and let the plant lean over here or here, you know. So this one here needs to be cut off. This one here had to be cut back. This is stabilized here. but it still needs to be pruned here. So we're taking that one off too. Let me see. It smells like fire again. I hope the neighbors are grilling. I really hope the neighbors are grilling. But yeah, it's Saturday. This is the time when people usually are grilling. I'm not someone who grills, but I like that, sitting on the fire. But I'm not really someone who likes barbecue, who's into these huge barbecues and that kind of thing. I just sit in my garden and have fun. That's enough for me. These come out, by the way. These need to come out the medium. These need to come out. We need to cut them out. They have also skin problems. Classic stuff that you always see when you have plants too long in one pot. Oh, there's a spider. Hey, spider. Oh. Everything I pick up is full of life here. It's a good thing. I'm happy about it. But it also means I'm constantly picking something up that I can't do something because there's something living in the pot. Yeah, exactly. Like, I will try to place a few plants here and there besides them. And when I have these huge pots, they will be good for putting a few plants in between, just to give them a prioritized spot, because that keeps them away from the other plants. When you have them in a pot like this and with a few big ones, they're not surrounded by others. So let me cut this here. Okay, good. Yeah, this one has really broken off this year. I have a few of it. I had repotted the plant maybe 4 years ago, and since then it got too big to repot it. I think this is an issue with the pot. Maybe we should put it in a bigger pot, but I only want to do that when we have removed this arm too, in order to really put it into a new pot, stable in a pot. It's better to prune it back and then let it grow back in the new pot. So this here, let me see. Yeah, this is Bolivian. So we are propagating these. This is a rare plant, by the way. I got that from a friend of mine, from a late friend of mine who passed away by now. And I got it as Trichoceros boliviensis. And that species, no, Lobivioides was the name I got it with. Lobivioides. And that plant is a totally different plant. So I suspect it's something like Isla del Sol. Brigesi relative, but not Brigesi. You have quite a lot of these plants. Like, there are many plants in Bolivia that look like Brigesi, but are actually something else, separate species. You know, you have that with Isla del Sol. You have that with, this is Rheomiscensis, Echinopsis rheomiscensis, the plant we recently took the tip off, and you can already see it popping here. There, has popped again. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about the wildfire, mate. I've only seen that now. I'm a little bit delayed with the comments, but I hope everything is under control now. Hope they got the wildfire under control. I've been following the wildfires in Canada over the last couple of weeks, maybe, and we have the highest. Like, we have a high risk for forest fires too here. So I'm always worried about when I'm smelling any smoke or something like that. I'm looking. I'm going out to look what it is, because it's really dangerous time. The summers are getting hotter and hotter. The place is getting drier and drier. That's crazy. Yeah, this is the era of the wildfires. I mean, nature, the more nature we kind of take away, the more green places that used to retain water, that used to be so shady that the place couldn't heat up so much, they're increasingly cemented, increasingly like built over. Yeah, unfortunately, and it's leading to forest fires in many parts of the world. It will become our new reality, if you ask me. Like, it will be like that every year. And I hate it. The climate is off. And it's simply because, for one, we are removing more and more parts of nature that are essential for preserving the humidity, for preserving the water. It's just when you have a forest, a diverse forest, it's a totally different thing than when you have a huge place that is basically just monoculture, you know? So, yeah. Unfortunately, I want to take these down now. I actually wanted to... Look at this guy. Hey, my friend, are you okay? I just want to cut these off. Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to jump in a cactus. I just want to take these off here. Taking this one here. Yeah, it's crazy. But it's okay for me, you know? Because humanity, the way we are doing this, it will just lead to animals having a chance at the planet again in maybe 100,000 years, if it even takes that long, you know? Humanity will, like what we're doing now, for our own demise. And maybe it's for the better if this is how we treat the planet, you know? I'm not worried. I would love to see that the dinosaurs get another chance. Yeah. That's it. Oh, come on, man. Almost have it off, but this piece here got stuck. Trying to scrape the seeds out here, out the fruit. And the rest we will leave on the plant to dry up. Okay. I would love to see the dinosaurs walking the earth again. They have been, if you ask me, they never got a fair chance. That was a total unfair move with that asteroid or whatever it was. So yeah, maybe they should get another chance. I'm for it. I support the dinosaurs. Okay, yeah, we will clean these tomorrow. So let me put them here. Cleaning them in a sieve. I just need kitchen paper, which I don't have right now. Otherwise, we would be cleaning them now. Gotta be careful that we're not that they are not eaten by something like a rodent. So I might actually clean them later in a video. Oh, come on. I'm not getting rid of them. They're not letting go of my finger. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, good. So this is enough here. I think we're done with the reporting. We could report endlessly. And I have a little soil left here. This one here we will use up. This is a good soil. This is the cemetery soil that we had used, and we will use that one a little bit more. Like, I will use it all up. I'm not sure if we're getting new one when this is used up, but it was a good soil. Like the plants on the live stream, a lot of the vegetables have been grown in this medium, and it was pretty okay. I was pretty happy with it. My hands are completely messed up from the repotting. I like repotting. It's one of the things that I never get used to. Like the constant repotting, you're constantly screwing up the fingers in summer. There's just no way to repot safely. Like even with the good gloves, it's just something from time to time the spine goes through. Okay, how late is it? Oh, yeah, we're okay. Already going a little overtime. Let's clear these out here, and then we're ending the live stream. But this was fun. I want to do more. In the future, I want to do more of the live stream stationary in one spot. For one, it allows me to control the set a little more. I will not have to defend myself against people calling my garden a mess, you know. And we will have one place where we are usually going back to. This is the place. This is going to be our video set now. It has a little bit of sunlight, usually. This is Amun-Re. We are propagating that one, putting it aside again, taking off the 2 pups. We have to keep them dry now. Let me see where we have them, because they still have a wound now. Can't put them in the soil just yet like that. So I will place them upside down in the pot just to let them callus for the next couple of weeks, and then we're rooting them separately, like this and like this, and then we're turning them around in a few days, maybe in 10 days or so. Yeah, okay. So let's have a look at this. We need to take this one off, like the sidearm here. This is a grafted plant, and the tip was just for, like, as a last chance effort to save the plant. And look at it, it has popped, but now we have to keep the grafting stock from popping. So we're taking this off here, the side pop. Otherwise the plant would continue to put energy into this and not into this. I want to graft this like that tip, but it could be a little bigger now. This is from a hybrid cross between Teleflora and Schaffery Yellow. This is a really cool plant. It would mean a lot if it survives. So this will go on the shelf in the greenhouse, getting a good spot where it gets water all the time. Can't forget to water this with how this looks. This can't be in humidity. Sometimes you can induce popping on a plant that has immense skin problems. Yeah, but you have to be really careful. Have to know what you do. Have to know when you're taking it off. You know, like, because if you put that thing back into a humid setup, the thing will be infected again in no time. So this is just a last chance, last ditch effort to get a clean pop. And for now, this looks really good. This one here, we should really, let me see what we have here. This is a cool plant, by the way. I like this one. This is going to be prioritized. Cross between a big Scopolycola and a hybrid called Equinox. I do not know where it's from. I think it could be from Cactus. Yeah, that thing, that badly scarred plant, it's still alive. And when we're taking off the pop, it will probably pop again. So we should consider maybe taking it off. This one will be reported. This is going to be prioritized. Check it out. This is really nice. This is Scopolycola crossed with Echinopsis. Really nice. That's the kind of hybrid that I want to have in the future. So, okay. Yeah, tomorrow live stream we will fertilize again. Now with the coconut fiber we have so much fertilizing to do. Cleaning these up, and then we're done. The containers of seedlings from the live stream, we have to deal with those too now. We will prepare them for winter. It's possible we will overwinter them inside the house again. I just wanted to have them in the greenhouse, because in the greenhouse you don't have these issues with fungus gnats. Like outside, these pests can hardly take over. They're always under pressure of the environment. Yeah, so we might actually move them back in winter. for now, keeping them clean, getting rid of oxalis is important. I really want them to dry out fast, and then we have to water them fast again. Like if you're doing it like that, what we're doing increases the, like, it shortens the time frame that the soil needs to dry up. And when you're doing it like that, you have to water like that too. So we might have to water them again sometime soon. I have a lot of VHS tapes too. Large part of my day, I'm just looking for cheap horror VHS tapes, that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, they have become quite expensive these days. Like some of these VHS tapes, they are hard to get today. I shouldn't have gotten, like, there was a time when I was collecting horror movies on VHS. Then the DVD came along, and I collected them on DVD again, like the same movies, just DVD. Then the Blu-ray then the Laserdisc came along, and I had them on Laserdisc, and that was the end. Once the Blu-ray came along, I wasn't interested to buy the same movies again. So now I'm basically just filling up the collection in the old kind of stuff, VHS, maybe a few DVDs, and a few laser discs here and there. That's great to hear. Yeah, Pumpkinhead is amazing. I like it too. In German, I would get it for my shelf. You know, like on the shelf, that thing looks really good. Like all those old school horror movies, they have a lot of charm when you see them on the desk in the background, or you know, on a shelf. Really beautiful, gives you that nostalgic charm. Okay, let me turn it around here, cleaning the camera, and then we're taking off. Always gotta clean the camera again. Okay, yeah, it's a little milky now, but for the end of the video, this is okay. It's just when I'm gardening, the display looks horrible. Like every time when I'm starting the live stream, everything is clean, and then it's getting dirty and dirtier and dirtier. And when I turn the camera around, it looks like this. So yeah, thank you for always being here. I can only say it again. I appreciate it. And I will repay it by having a few good plants here. Like what we're doing right now, the plants that we are reporting, I would really love to watch that if I would be the one on the other side. And that's how I decide what we want to grow in the future. Like I'm really trying to select the ones where I know in 5 years they will look amazing. I might not be filming like I'm doing it now, like with so many videos, but we are just putting together a nice collection for the future. And that will be awesome. We will report everything. We will sort out. We will only keep the best. So don't worry about stuff like, I don't know, root bound or the medium coconut fiber. We will make sure they will have everything they need. And if the medium isn't good, we are changing it. You know, I'm a pragmatical guy. If I see a problem, we will fix it, and that's it. So yeah, thank you guys. I greatly appreciate that you have been here with me, and I will be back again tomorrow, same time. Thank you very much. Tomorrow I will be in time again at 10 in the morning. This morning I was a little later. So thank you everyone. Wishing you a great weekend. Thank you. Me too. Honestly, it's usually the highlight of my day because it's a great experience. A lot of cool people here, and I really enjoy my time. So thank you. Until tomorrow, everyone. Have a nice weekend.